what sort of category of people, I guess that's the best way I could word it, do you find easiest to get hold of if you want to interview people? Is it like the wrestlers, are they easiest? Is it like the voice actors, are they the easiest? Like, what sort of people would you find easiest to talk to get onto the podcast, if that makes any form of sense?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer would be the people on the Zero Hero Podcast Network.
Yeah, that's
I just
true.
reach out. But I guess I would have to say, for me, the wrestling community. I'm not trying to maybe put any feathers in my hat here or anything like that, but I've gotten enough wrestlers on my show, especially for Texas and Oklahoma and Arkansas and Missouri, that my name has kind of gotten around, and people know, oh, If You Give a Dad a Podcast. I've had different people, what's your favorite wrestling podcast, and they would tag my show. So I know that if I say, hey, I'm with If You Give a Dad a Podcast, and I'd like to have you on my show, most of the time, they'll be like, oh, cool. I've had some people that be like, I listened to your show, and so this will be awesome. But I would probably say the local wrestling scene, and it's led to some of the other bigger names in wrestling that I've been able to get on as well, like people who have actually been in places like AEW and WWE. I haven't, none that are actually on the programming right now. I do have one guy that I'm talking to who is currently working with one of the big names, and they're trying to get it okayed to actually come and do an interview on my show.
See, you just said that, oh, I'm not trying to put feathers in my hat, but mate, you should be proud of that, man. The fact that there are somewhat a version of a celebrity out there who can literally sit there and go, oh yeah, I'll listen to If You Give a Dad a Podcast. That's mind blowing, man. The fact that your podcast name is like being put on these celebrities' Instagrams and Twitters, and you're being tagged in things, and that's awesome. Right. That's mind blowing, man. Like you must. Do you ever just sit there and think to yourself, like, holy crap, like this was just meant to be a podcast, but now I'm talking to celebrities? Does that ever just take you back a minute?
It does. I mean, I've been very with lucky or blessed, with what I've been able to do on this show. I've had, lots of moments where I have to sit back and just be grateful for, all the stuff that has happened. Because, I think they said that 80% of podcasts don't make it through their first, 20 episodes is what I had read. So wow. The fact that, I'm about to have episode 93 come out on Monday is, pretty cool. And the fact that there are people who actually know what my podcast is, it's still weird to me, especially when I'm, at like Comic-Con and somebody sees me wearing my shirt and you're like, oh, you're the podcast guy. I've had that happen, I had that happen at Comic-Con here, and I've had it happen at wrestling shows as well. And it's still really weird to have people walk up and know me, and I have no idea who they are.
If you want to hear the full episodes where I interview content creators or I geek out about something specific with a guest, then make sure you check out the YouTube channel or the podcast platforms such as Spotify. Make sure you check out the Tiger Nexus podcast to check out the full episodes.